In this lesson, we're going to have a look at 2D versus 3D families in Revit and when to use them. The first factor we're going to look at is file size. Now, I created two files here using the standard architectural template, and I saved them as Project 2D and Project 3D. If we have a look at the size of those files, you'll see that both of them currently sit at 3.1 meg. So there's 2D and there's 3D. That's pretty big for an empty file. And the reason for that is because of the architectural template that I use, there's already a number of preloaded families in this. If I click on component, you'll see on the drop-down here, there's a list of families already loaded into this file. So you can see there's quite a significant impact on the size of your file. If I now go and I load additional families into this, it will increase the file size. And I want to look at the difference between the 2D and the 3D ones. So I'm going to start with the 2D one. I'm going to click on component. I'm not going to place one of these existing ones. Obviously, that's already calculated in the file size. I'm going to load an additional one here. And I'm going to start by loading the commercial wall toilet 2D. And placing it in my scene like that. And then I'm going to save this file. On the other side, on my 3D project, I'm going to do the same, but this time I'm going to load the 3D one and place it. You can see if I zoom in, they pretty much look the same. Difference is this is a 2D family and that is a 3D family. So let's just save this file and now have a look at the difference in file size. The 2D one has increased to 3.25 and the 3D one 3.34. It's not really that significant in this case, but if you work on a big project, it will start to add up. Now, in something like a residential project where you do a house, you're probably not going to place enough components to really make such a huge difference. But if you start working on the more commercial type projects, especially things like high rises, the amount of these components that you have to place can have a significant impact on the size of your file. So that would be the first consideration, keeping file size small. The second consideration is if you have, for example, like me, a massive library of AutoCAD blocks already pre-made, and you want to use those in Revit without going and creating new families to replace them. In a case like that, we can use a bit of trickery to let Revit use our 2D shapes, but let it behave like a 3D object. To do that, I'm going to start by creating a new family. And I'm going to use the plumbing wall-based family type. That will make sure that whatever I place will always be against the wall. You can see if you look at the template here, they provide you with a wall as a reference. And we're looking at a side view. I think here, this is the placement side. Yes, we're looking at the left view. So I'm going to start by going to the top view. This is the placement side of our family. Now I have a few pre-made blocks from AutoCAD, which is a top view, a front view, and a left view of this family. And I'm going to insert it into this 3D family by clicking on Insert, Import CAD. You can see here's my water closet top. I'm going to make sure it's black and white. In this case, import unit is millimeters, and I'm happy with the rest. There's the family. I'm just going to move this into place like that. I need to set the visibility parameters of this by clicking here on visibility graphics and saying I only want this one visible in plan view, so not the front and back, not the left and right. And OK. Now I'm going to go to the left view. And again, make sure that I know where the placement side is. I'm going to go import, insert, import CAD again. And now this time I'm going to import the side view. Settings should stay the same. place it. And you can see here, it's facing the wrong way. So I'm just going to use mirror to create a mirror image like that and delete this one and then move it into place. So against the wall and on the floor like that. Again, I'm going to set the visibility settings for this one. I want this to be visible in left and right, not the front and back, not the plan view. And then finally, I need to do the front side, which is the placement side. And I do the exact same thing. Import CAD, front, setting should still be the same. Open, and then place it. And set up the visibility, not in plan, not left and right, only front and back. If you look at this in a 3D view, you'll see our sketches like that. I'm going to create a new project. Go back to my new family and load it into this new project and place it. Now you can see because it's wall-based, I can only place it against the wall. If I move here, it won't allow me to place it. And I can place it on either side like that. Now in the top view, you can see I can see the top elevation, the top plan view. If I now go to side views, I can see the side view like that. This would work for a section as well. And from the front, I can see it like that. Obviously, this will not work if you need to do a 3D view of this room. So if I go to 3D, you will see it like this. So it works very well if you need to do just sections, elevations, your typical sort of construction drawings. But the moment that you need to do 3D, it would be better to maybe load a 3D version of this and then use that one in the rooms where you need to do 3D views. Now again, in a residential project, I usually don't bother doing this because the amount of components that you place is small enough that the file size doesn't increase that much. But the moment you start working on your larger commercial projects, file size could become a problem if you have to place a lot of components. And this is a very nice alternative to working in 3D.